What is up, everybody? This is a quick review of my new scope. This is a T-Eagle AliExpress scope. It is a 4x6 44 millimeter scope. It is the tube is a lot thicker, so this is a 30 millimeter tube instead of the 25 millimeter cheap tube. This scope is a lot lighter than the old scope I used to use. I don't know why, because the old scope was bigger, like by this much, but overall, and this scope is thicker than the old scope, but it ended up being a lot lighter than the other scope, and which is a plus for your replicas. And speaking of the replica, the replica I'm using is a Norvege SSG-24, old school. Has a edgy bore-up kit in it, and the standard length barrel. So the barrel actually goes all the way out to here. I'm gonna go over my suppressor in a minute, but I painted the replica, the desert look, and I also added this sniper tape. This is gaffer's tape, or gaff tape, whatever you call it, and it's a fabric tape. So when this, I just applied all of this not too long ago. I haven't been able to play a game with this yet, so but once I do, it'll get really dirty, and that's what I'm looking for this tape to get real dirty. I could sit there in my yard and rub some soil all over it to get the right color, but I'm gonna let it do it naturally. The sling is a old school leather sling. I think it's called like a 1913 sling or a 1914 sling. I forget. The bipod is a Chadwell, and it's super light. This is actually my friend Ian's bipod. I'm just putting on the replica to just, because it's cool. But I will actually keep this on there because it's pretty lightweight, and not a lot of people use bipods of replica airsoft replicas. But anyways, back to the scope. You can turn the reticles by lifting them up like this and adjust it like so. Back down to lock it. Windage, same thing. Lock it. It has on the left has a what do you call that, focus or whatever, and you can turn the reticle on, so it has it's like a red dot sight. It has a red reticle and a green reticle. But the coolest part about the T-Eagle is actually this right here. Let me show you its features. There's an internal bubble level, so that is the freaking tits. Like, this is so cool. So a lot of you guys will run a level down here, or one off to the side over here. And the problem with that is when you're looking through the scope, you have to look underneath it to see that bottom level, or if you're non-dominant eye, you'd look at the reticle on the side, or this side, not reticle, a level on the side or down here, which is inconvenient when you're sniping. Having the level inside is the coolest thing I've ever seen, and you can see it move when I tilt the replica. It's so cool. So, you can still see it. So yeah, having a level in your scope, or on your scope, or on your replica is pretty important when you're taking those shots, to make sure the flight path of the BB is perfectly vertical. You tilt the gun a replica a little bit, the BB will turn. So to fight windage, or to fight the wind, you can actually set the level over to one of the posts on the sides here, and you'll be able to compensate for the wind. This scope is amazing. I got it on AliExpress. I'll put the link in the bottom. It's not paid or anything, but it's whatever. I just put it down there for you guys to check it out. What else? It's $100. Shipping like 10, 15, 20 bucks, I forget, but it depends on where you're at, of course. And yeah, this scope is seriously very cool. Highly recommend it. What else? It's lightweight, like I said. Covered it in tan gaffer's tape, sniper tape, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, Alright, so let's go back to the replica itself. I wanted this look, this dirty, dingy, you know, with even this cheek pad being dirty. A good reason to have a cheek pad, real quick, is when I place my face on here and I open my eye, immediately my eye is in the scope. I don't have to adjust my cheek or adjust my eye to look in here. So if you guys don't have a cheek pad and you're putting your chin on your cheek on your sock and having to lift your cheek up or your eye up to like look through the scope itself, I highly recommend getting a cheek pad or making a cheek pad. And a lot of the M24 sniper weapon systems, like military or our army or our Marines or whatever, they'll use the they'll make their own cheek pad out of duct tape or something, or a piece of wood. So this is why I opted for a piece of wood there that I wrapped in gaffer's tape, and it makes it look a little bit more authentic. And this SSG-24 has a full thrust kit in it, so you can see this big old fat ass BB. This thing really knocks heads. I love full thrusts. I wish I had a VSR to use the new full thrust kit, but I'm pretty sure I can actually adapt the new full thrust kit in the SSG-24. I don't need it, so I probably won't get it unless Navrich sends it to me, but I don't need it. I mean, I'd love it if he sends me one. Then I can do some tests with it and you know, show you its greatness. Because I actually like the new barrel and the new hopper bucking that he's using for the new barrel. So we'll see if I order one or not. To the suppressor. So let me pull it off. I have to use my foot. I printed this and wrapped it in gaffer's tape as well. You can see that's how long it is. So it's only 2 inches longer than the actual full-length barrel itself. The suppressor is this part, and it's a gate style suppressor. So when the BB shoots out and passes the gate, the excess air that's behind the BB will close the gate. So it'll fire, and then the gate will close right after the BB passes. So no air escapes the suppressor and the barrel at all. So what it sounds like a compression test. So when you cock your gun, replica, put your finger over the barrel, fire, and the piston doesn't hit the end of the nozzle, and the air, it just goes thoop, like that. That's what this replica sounds like when it fires, because of the gate suppressor. So I'm gonna actually blow into the suppressor and put it right next to the end for you to hear. So I don't know if you can hear that gate closing. You can see my cheeks blowing out. So that's that gate closing every time I blow into the suppressor. So I was gonna sell that, but it's just too much work to sell that one. I have to, because if I send it out and you fire and your BB smacks your gate and has a baffle strike, essentially, it's gonna destroy the gate. So it's just not worth selling those. If it were aluminum, that would work really well. My gate is a little bit different than Edgy's gate, but if you want one, just get one from Edgy. He's the inventor of that, so you should just get it from him. It is expensive and his shipping is outrageous, but you know, honestly, he deserves it. But yeah, that's my SSG-24 super custom and my scope. T-Eagle. If you're gonna look for it, it's a T-Eagle 4X 1644, and you'll find it on AliExpress or maybe Wish.com. And when you're looking for it, make sure you look through the pictures to see that it does indeed have that bubble level. So, all right, guys, I really hope you like my replica, and I really hope you like this scope. It's pretty badass. So, peace out.